Alright guys, welcome back to the GSTL. We are going to have a coach interview between Hwani and Gerard, and of course our interviewer girl. Hwani's trying to make sure his mic's on.
Hwani's checking the mics for traps. Anything else dangerous might happen. And we're going to have the interview translated for you guys.
네, 안녕하세요. 네, 박유식 감독님 1세트 승리하셨습니다. 축하드리고요.
감사합니다.
네, 라스베가스 우승 후 오랜만에 GSTL 나오시는데 지금 기분이 어떠신가요?
저희 팀이 라스베가스에서 우승하고 지금 오랜만에 이렇게 팀 리그에 출전을 했는데요. 처음에 오늘 처음 여기 무대에 왔을 때는 이렇게 긴장이 좀 덜 됐는데 이렇게 경기가 이제 막상 저희 이렇게 시작을 하니까 저희도 그렇고 저희 팀 선수도 그렇고
You're the champion of Las Vegas. It's been a long time playing the GSTL. So
1세트 아쉽게
we were a little nervous playing our first match this season.
어떠신가요?
졌긴 했지만 뭐 아직 선수들 좋은 선수들 기다리고 있으니까요. 네, 크게 뭐 부담은 안 됩니다.
네, 그리고
We lost the first set, but we got a lot of strong players left, so we're not worried yet.
듬직하죠.
네, 알겠습니다. 자, 두 팀이 오늘 처음 만난다고 합니다. 상대 팀을 어떻게 생각하는지도 궁금한데요. 박예식 감독님, 스나드 메이드콜 경기 보셨나요?
예, 봤습니다.
어땠나요?
한지원 선수가 굉장히 강력한 인상을 남겨주었는데요.
네.
장재호 지금 이제 출전하는 장재호 선수라든가 그리고 한희석 선수 그리고 이제 김학수 선수.
네네.
We saw the match against IM, and he thinks Biel and Yoon and Alive are the key players.
저희 팀이
So they're going to have to defeat them if they're going to win this match.
테란 선수들뿐만 아니라 저희 저그 프로토스 모두 많은 준비를 해서 나왔습니다.
네, 지켜보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 김성환 감독님은 지난 시즌 우승팀이에요. 어떤 팀이라고 생각하시나요?
너무 강한 팀이고요.
네.
네, 너무 쟁쟁한 선수 너무 많고요. 사실 엄청 부담되는 팀인 것 같아요.
네, 그렇죠.
네.
자, 마지막으로 이제
Prime's got a lot of
2라운드만
strong
넘으면
players. They got
드디어
Marine King,
4강입니다. 2라운드에
Creator,
각오
so
한마디씩 들어볼게요.
the Fnatic team is pretty nervous today.
저희 팀 모두 우승 이후에도 정말 열심히 지금까지 달려왔고요. 이번 시즌도 절대 놓치지 않을 겁니다. 그리고 지금 저그가 강세인데
네.
저는 개인적으로 저희 팀 저그가 제일 강하다고 항상 주장을 해왔고
네.
그렇게 생각하고 이번 시즌 저희 팀
Their goal is obviously to be the champion again this season, and their Zergs are doing very well recently.
1라운드 때
The Prime coach thinks that the Prime Zergs are the best Zergs out there, so he's feeling pretty confident about that.
뭐 2라운드 때는 좀 더 노력을 해가지고
네.
좀 더 좋은 결과로 보답하도록 하겠습니다.
네, 알겠습니다. 멋진 승부 저도 기대하도록
We have a few
하겠습니다.
players today,
저는 잠시
but
후 승리팀 인터뷰로
we have a
다시
few players
찾아오도록
today, but we
하겠습니다.
prepared hard for round 2, and we're going to do a good job today.
네, 자, 리포터 수고 많으셨습니다.
There you go. Both teams, feeling confident.
Yeah,
showing a lot of respect to each other there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing I feel for these Korean coaches whenever I see these interviews, the sportsmanship, as well as not revealing too much. That's why these interviews seem, sometimes a little bit bland, is because they want to just make sure to say all the right things, and that's essentially what they've done here.
Yeah. It's like, you can be like, well, they're good, but watch out, because in round 3, we're going to bring this guy out, and then they're going to burn. So
Exactly.
They can't really tip their hand or anything like that, but it's cool to see, where he's like, okay, well, we think our Zergs are the best.
Yeah.
We got the best Zergs out there, so... yeah,
and it's good to see the honesty from the Prime coach, because to say something like, we think the strongest players, the key players are, of course, Moon, Byul, and Alive. To say that is actually shows that they've prepared for that, and even making a statement like that not only is just true, but it also makes it seem like, as Fnatic, it's like, well, they know our key players, or what have they prepared for, so it kind of puts out this little bit of... it's not like butting heads, but it's just like saying, yeah, we know these are your key players, and we know how to prepare for this.
Yeah. What do you think about this next match coming in here?
Well,
who's going to win this one?
The map is going to be Ohana, and Moon has come out on this map several times before. I feel Moon may be able to take this game. Based on what I've seen from him in the Team League so far, I would put him slightly favored here. Will, Moon be able to lead a charge and get a multi-kill like he's shown before? Today, I don't think so, but I think he can take this match. That's what I would predict.
I do think Moon was the best player to bring out at this point in time.
Yeah, I would agree 100%.
Anyang, good choice for starts. I think they're probably just going to pick somebody who's well-rounded. Okay, win game 1, game 2, please. Then we can really start focusing and trying to snipe these guys. But, ideally, Anyang needs to last as long as humanly possible. I don't think that game was too strenuous, the one that we saw before. So, I think he's going to be in good shape going into this. Moon, as we said before, our break. This guy has so much experience. Nerves, anxiety, not an issue.
Yeah, they don't mean anything to him. And at this point, Moon is a very, very micro-intensive player. Even though he has come from Warcraft 3 to switch to StarCraft 2, his macro has improved significantly. His micro is still one of his strongest points. We've seen crazy micro from him in ZVZs in the past. And this is a matchup where micro is so important, so I think we're going to see him use that very, very known Warcraft 3 micro to target down drones, split his Zerglings against Banelings.
Yeah, I think you can't get a better micro person than a Warcraft 3 player, and this is a pretty micro-intensive matchup. ZVZ, one of the more volatile matchups. No room for mistakes, and it looks like we're getting this going. So get ready for game number 2, Prime versus Fnatic, Anyang versus Moon, Zerg versus Zerg, here at the GSTL. Thank you to our sponsors at Hot 6. In the upper left starting location, we have our Zerg from the team Prime. His ID is
Anyang Prime.
Anyang, actually the casual way to say hello in Korean. Yep. Formal way, 안녕하세요.
Yep.
안녕하세요, Wolf.
안녕하세요. Very friendly guy.
Yeah, really nice guy. In the bottom right, the 5th race from Warcraft 3. Some of the best micro in the industry. Can he do it for Team Fnatic? His ID is
Fnatic Radical Moon.
Now his opener here is going to be a 10 pool. Spoiler alert. I know you guys can't see it yet, but
everybody on Team Liquid's like, no spoilers! No, guys, it's okay. We know that from, the way that he's producing stuff.
oh man, I see a sign that I want to talk about so much over there. Karn plus Gom Girl forever.
That is so funny.
Oh, you guys don't even know the stories I could tell, but
oh, that's so funny.
I hope Karn is watching
That's
at
the
home
best.
right
That's
now.
the best side. So, well, normally it's like a sign. It's like cheers from New Zealand, and I'm like, yay, New Zealand. But no, that's pretty funny.
That's like the best sign I have ever seen. That guy must know Karn or something. All right, let's see what Moon's got planned here with this temple. I mean, obviously his plan is to put some aggression on. How much success will he have? His opponent's gone hatch first, and that's exactly what Moon is banking on. He may try to hide the spine as well. That's something that you don't normally see, but it looks like he's going to do it. There it is.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no
All
vision
right.
for our prime player.
Moon not afraid to dish out a little bit of cheese here. And that's one of the things that I'm sure most of our viewers know. The hatchery doesn't have the same vision as the creep has spread.
Yep.
Which I think is just one of these cool little features about the matchup that actually makes it
That's really cool to know. That's exactly why he's chosen this location to put the spine. He's going to have to move it for it to really be useful, but he's going to be able to fall back to it. And he is not seeing this.
He's not
Moon
even
is
checking
likely
for this.
just going to win the game here. The spawning pool's only halfway done. There are 8 Zerglings. Oh, he sees it, but it's done. And if he wants to fight this with
too
drones,
late.
he's
You
going to
saw him
lose
pull
them.
that for a second.
Yeah, it's
No
too
time
late.
for that.
And now he's moving it. Oh, look at this. He's minimized the surface area by putting it next to the hatch.
Beautiful move there by Moon. Okay, so he's just going to evacuate the drones. And remember, the spawning pool's not safe here.
It's not even done, and he has. Oh, this is so bad for Anyang. He's in a lot of trouble here. The drones now will be mining at the natural, but he's going to lose his hatchery here. That's a lot of production lost. Nice surround on the Lings, but the Lings actually somehow get by.
Yeah, they slip right through. And note he's actually trying to get some surface area around the eggs so that when they hatch, well, he's not going to get that surface area. Here we go. Drones versus Zerglings down here. He needs to save this to save the hatchery to save the game. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Nice splitting there by Moon. Perfect micro. Doing so much damage to these drones. The spine crawler does go down. And he cannot engage the red Zerglings here. Moon cannot.
No, he cannot.
Because he is so injured here. I'm really surprised that Anyang actually held that as well as he did.
Yeah, both players microed so well. A lot of these drones very low in the health. That's why you kind of tell like how he microed those drones. Really nicely done by Anyang. I mean, Moon's micro phenomenal.
He should have lost about 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Moon is ahead in workers 16-10, but his hatchery is very far behind. He did not kill the hatchery, so his opponent is going to have so much more production than him for a long time. Consider as well, though, that Moon does have his queen out faster, so he's going to have to inject. So it's kind of like, basically what we had was an even trade. It's arguable that with the defense, Anyang got the better trade, but it's not, even 100% certain to say because so many drones were lost. And it's 19-13 now, though, for Moon, whose hatchery is finishing up here. Got to be careful with that queen, though. Does not want that to get surrounded.
All right, well, more Lings coming out here. That probably will not happen. The Lings now probably going to try to get a drone. And again, second queen comes out here. He's going to have to leave the base.
Yeah, he will have to evacuate the base, you're right. And now, both queens are out for Moon, and he's going to take a significant lead here. 2 workers ahead, but double queens on his hatcheries. Now, Anyong is just now starting his second queen. Since he had so few drones, he couldn't get the minerals needed to make that second queen, so his queen is so significantly behind, and that's so many injects he's going to lose. And for that reason, Moon can now feel safe to drone because he's going to have more larvae to produce the Zerlings to defend. Neither player with any gas just yet, though.
Yeah, they're staying very mineral intensive. And as you can see, the Lings now coming up here. He's going to have to back off for sure now with enough Lings there to defend that queen. And I think now we're going to see a little bit of a lull here as they're going to have to drone up. And we're going to go into what is mid-game in Zerg versus Zerg.
3 extractors going up at once.
Compared to only 2 for Anyong.
Yeah, he's getting a Roach Warren and the Evolution Chamber. He's basically pushing all the buttons right now. He's actually trying to find out exactly what he can get away with. Now, during all of this, you guys may have noticed that Anyong was also supply blocked quite heavily at 28 out of 28. He had to make 2 overlords. That limited his production again. And all of these little things are starting to stack up against him as now the worker count is 36 to 29, but he's got 5 more on the way, so it'll be 46 to 29 very soon here. And basically, Moon is in every way ahead right now, and he can afford to be the first one to make the Roach Warren, the first one to take more gases, because he has more on his side.
You know, in a ZVZ, Econ is just very unforgiving. You lose a few drones, well, now what do? Do you make more? Do you try to go a counterattack?
Yeah.
And then, of course, Queen's Larva Inject. That's something that's going to increment out throughout the rest of the game.
And if your opponent
he's pretty behind.
Yeah, you're right. And if your opponent knows that you've lost the workers, then he knows that you're going to have to make that choice. So just that knowledge alone is scary, because your opponent could try to attack you while you're droning, because he knows that you have 2 choices. You either drone to hold, or you make units to hold, or you drone. And so it's a really scary, tense situation to be in. Now, Moon, again, going for faster tech here with the lair going up. He's going to be able to get roach speed very quickly, as well as start +2 upgrades for his roaches. This little bit of scouting coming out is denied. And Moon ahead with Zergling speed. In every way, this guy is just ahead, and it's very difficult to catch up in ZVZ.
Yeah, that's very true. By the way, their Overlord spread here, very nice throughout the center of the map. No surprises really set up. They're both making sure to keep their Overlords far away enough that a Queen can't come out and just kill it. So, that's going to be good for both of them. Like I said, no surprises on this map. We got them both layer teching here, and it looks like pretty soon here, Moon probably going to go for a 3rd base.
Yeah, he either will try to hit a 2-base timing or go for a 3rd base. With destroying the rocks here, it looks very likely he's going to take a 3rd. He's so far ahead that he can take a 3rd base while being aggressive, and that's something that Anyong is going to have to deal with as he wants to take a 3rd base. He may be denied, and he's just going to be so frustrated dealing with the aggression that Moon's going to put on with higher tech. Moon has roach speed way ahead. He's going to have +1 first. With +1, you 2-shot Zerlings instead of 3-shotting them with your roaches. The roach count is building up quite heavily right now for Moon. It's at 17 to 9 with 8 more on the way. 4 overlords on the way for Anyong. Again, seems to be a little bit supply block, not able to manage his resources as well as Moon right now.
Moon getting his Overseer here, and the Changeling is going to scout out, just how many drones are. Oh my God, he actually made the infestation pit in front of the Changeling. I'm a little bit surprised by that.
That was weird.
You don't do that, Wolf.
That's a
no-no.
That's just really strange. It's almost as if he was on autopilot there for a second. I mean, that's like basically letting Moon know, yeah, that attack you were thinking about doing, it's a great time.
Yeah, it's a great time because I won't have infestors out here, and I spent money on something that can't help me for the time being.
Yeah, and now Moon is going for the attack desperately. Anyong making 14.
He is supply blocked, by the way. Sorry, Wolf, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, Anyong now desperately trying to make those roaches to hold. Moon is going to hit with roach speed, and he's going to have the upgrade advantage for a few seconds, but that may be all it takes.
All right, the damage being dealt. A little bit of a better concave there for Anyong, so Moon has to pull out again, and now that upgrade is going to finish there for Anyong, so he's going to have to breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief there. Now coming here and intercepting reinforcements. Moon coming around. I think Moon actually has a little bit more, so okay, good. He is going to turn around. Yeah. Thought like there's something I didn't understand. I was like, do less roaches beat more roaches? No, I don't think that's how the game works. So
of course not, Tasteless. But, in this situation that we just saw, what I love about what Moon is doing is because he's putting aggression on scaring him and not droning, but also making sure he doesn't have a 3rd, while Moon's not only taking a 3rd base, but also he has the macro hatch going up as well as a Hydro Ascend. The only thing that Moon is not doing is getting infestors right now, but he is preparing for that. He's getting burrow. He's going to have +2 way ahead of Anyang. And from here, Anyang, yeah, he held that attack, but that's all he did. He didn't get a third base up on time. It's just now being started. He's not going to be able to put any pressure on Moon, but he has evened up the supply.
Yeah, he has done that much. Now we see the drones coming down here. And right now, Moon's going to have to drone up. I have to say, though, the disparity between who is ahead and who is behind is not as massive.
Yeah, it's definitely the gap has been closed.
It's funny if we rewind for a bit and say, this game actually started out with, a 10 pull and a spine crawler rush.
Yeah.
And now we're getting into basically close to late game here, ZVZ. Occasionally, ZVZ actually goes on for an insane amount of time. But
yeah, very rarely.
Yeah.
But recently, that's been something we've seen. Oh, look at this. A little bit of an overextension from Anyang, but he cannot fight that many roaches, and he knows the upgrades are going to be better soon because he knows his upgrades were late.
Now, what Moon's doing here, it's not clear if he's actually going to go all the way and attack in here. He does know that, okay, this guy's overlords all over the map. He can see what I'm doing. I can come out here and force, and see he's going to turn around again. He's trying to slow down drone production while the third base is up and running. And this is what we call in StarCraft applying pressure.
Absolutely. And now the work count 65-50, exactly what you're mentioning. Way in favor of Moon right now. His opponent is so scared to drone. Now making 7 drones, but the damage has already been done. And here come the Hydras. It looks like he wants to hit with a timing without infestors. And, Anyang is getting his infestors out right now. If Moon waits a little bit longer, the infestors will help him defend, and if he wins that battle defensively, he'll still have the better infestor tech. He's about to be +2 against +2. So if he wins this defensive battle, if Moon really commits, this is one way Anyang can actually catch up potentially in this game.
Now, one thing about Zerg versus Zerg that's actually makes it very interesting, unlike some of the other matches. Well, all the matchups are interesting, but one of the factors here for ZVZ is that when you're in the battle, in a battle in the middle of the map, if you run away, you lose.
Yeah.
Hydras are slow on creep, they die. Start to run away, you're going to get fungled. You're going to lose those units. It's very unforgiving. So similar to, if you attack a Terran TVP, Marauder because of shells. Yeah. All right, so here comes the battle now.
Right.
Moon engaging. Very aggressive move here by Anyang to move forward a little bit more. Nice fungals coming down here. Concave definitely favoring Anyang with the Hydras in the back, or what's going to deal the damage. He's trying to micro away a little bit, kite these.
And the most important thing, Taste, is the +2 finish right now. But for the first few moments of that battle, a huge upgrade advantage, especially with those Hydras. But now as the roaches start to dissolve, Moon does not have any support for his Hydras. The problem is he just has a huge supply lead, and he cannot.
Nice. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
He will likely not hold his third base.
Nice fungal there on the Hydras. He needs to come down here one more time. If he can get around to the back there where the Hydras are, because Hydras do not take damage. Well, too late though. The hatch is gone. But is it going to be worth it? Can he come in here and do some more damage? Does not think it's going to be the case. In fact, if you look at the supply, that's the real story here. 125 to 182. And I think we're going to see this game end pretty quickly here as Moon just steamrolling over Anyang. And that should be putting us at 1-1 here for Prime against Fnatic.
Absolutely, Moon now just tearing through the last roaches of Anyang. He's going to have to come to terms with the fact that he lost this game. GG. 1-1. Well done by Moon. And in that battle, we saw pure Hydras. And like you said, one more fungal would have killed potentially all of them. One more group of roaches. And that's why the Hydras is a unit that people describe as a glass cannon, because it does so much damage, but it dies so quickly. And with a small group of Hydras, no roach support, if he just had a little bit more, he may have been able to hold. But in the end, the +2 on that many Hydras, the Hydras just do so much damage. The damage output is insane. He tore through everything. And Oz, talking to Moon there, they look pretty happy.
Yeah, Moon definitely going to be pleased with those results. I think he played really well. Now the next question is, who the hell is Prime going to send out next?
They have such a great lineup of players. I think a solid Zerg would be the choice normally, but not against Moon. I would think that normally they want to pull someone like Boom Boom out here, but they can't because they don't want to ZVZ against Moon again. They've seen the terror that Moon can unleash in ZVZ.
Yeah, I wonder... You think they could bring out like Ghost King, or
we may see Bjorn because he's shown great TVZ recently, and even if they bring him out, they still have big heavy hitters on their team like Creator and Marine King, as well as Boom Boom. He can still come out later as well. Bjorn may be the unit of choice here.
The unit of choice,
the unit of choice, man.
There might be a Bjorn making right now. We can't see in the production tab. We don't have it open, but. And it is Bjorn! We're so good at predicting people!
Oh, wow.
All right.
Such a great choice. I really strongly feel this is the best choice Prime can make right now because you don't trifle with Moon. You could pull someone out like Classic that isn't known, that doesn't have the experience, that may even be, we don't know, but Classic may be practicing only PvZ right now, but bringing out Bjorn I think is the safer choice in this situation, no matter what.
Good pick here by Bjorn. Ghost King, he's a solid player. I think he's got his own style too.
Yeah.
We saw him going mech a lot early on in a GSL Code S. He's kind of fallen off a little bit in the individual leagues, but he's solid. Naming himself Ghost King, of course, a good friend of Marine King.
Yep. Very close between these two guys. And Bjorn, after that scandal that came out in the in that Korean weekly tournament with Coca, he didn't play for a long time, but as soon as he came back, everyone was wondering how good is this guy going to be. He hasn't played in months, and he has shown excellent play since then. I think this guy could make it all the way to the round of 4 of GSL Code S this season. He showed great matches in the team league. He was the hero their team needed earlier on this season, and he may be the one to get several kills here against Fnatic. I think he can absolutely do it. Moon's going to have his hands full.
Yeah, I got to agree with that one. I think ideally Prime wants Bjorn to win at least the next 2 games.
Yeah. When you pick up a heavy hitter like Bjorn, even though he's not like, he's not Marine King, so if you put him out early, it's not a huge loss. But if you lose him early, it's like, well, maybe we shouldn't have used Bjorn here. We need him to get at least 1 win.
Right, exactly.
Or at least 2.
Exactly.
Yeah. The map choice, of course, is Antigua Shipyard. You want to use that against the Zerg if you can get any chance to do so.
Yeah, it's an excellent point. Zergs do not like this map. If you watch Code S, I've said it a million freaking times, but the 4th base, hard to get. Guess who gets the 4th base first in a TVZ normally?
It's going to be the Terran, man. Well, he's gonna have that 4th planetary up if he can get it. The Zerg wants the 4th, but it's so hard.
Where's he going to take it?
Where?
Yeah, he can't go to the middle. If he goes somewhere else far out there, then it's going to be susceptible to drops.
Well, let's find out who's going to take a lead here. Will it be Prime or will it be Fnatic? This is the GSTL brought to you by Hot 6, casted by Tasteless and Wolf.
Going down, I feel it in the air. It's gonna